Welcome to The Gentlemanly Art of. Today we are going to discuss hats. The hat is the perfect finishing touch to the well-dressed man. Hats are versatile and they're interesting, and they finish off anything you might be wearing. So today we're going to take a look at some of the different types of hats and when you should and when you shouldn't wear certain kinds of hats. This hat is called a fedora. Classic hat. We've seen them in all the movies from the 1940s and the 1950s and the 1960s and the 1930s. All the classic movies, everybody wears a fedora. This is the everyday hat. This is a hat you can wear with a nice suit. You can wear it with a sports coat. You can wear it with an overcoat. You can wear it with just about anything and it looks nice. This fedora that I am wearing right now is dark gray. So I wear this fedora whenever I wear black or gray, or I wear my black overcoat, okay? And this is, of course, because it goes perfectly with the colors, all right? You should always match the colors. You could wear a brown fedora with this jacket that I'm wearing now, this outfit I'm currently wearing. I could wear or should wear a brown fedora, okay, because it goes with the colors. Now, if I were wearing a black overcoat, I'd wear this dark gray fedora or a lighter gray fedora. Okay, why? Because you want to match the hat to what everybody's going to see you wearing it with. Remember, hats are never, ever, ever to be worn indoors. All right, there are very few exceptions to that, and those exceptions are always religious. Okay, other than that, they should never, ever be worn indoors. A gentleman wears a hat outside, puts it on when he leaves a building. A gentleman takes it off when he enters a building. Unless, of course, his hands are too full to take it off. A gentleman can leave his hat on in a bus station, in a train station, in an airport, while on a train, on a plane, on a bus, okay, or while in your car. Now, those things they're uncomfortable. All right. Years ago, they were very comfortable. Trains were spacious, automobiles were spacious, even airplanes were spacious, and it was easy to wear them and sit. Today, it's extraordinarily uncomfortable, so I suggest you not. But it is perfectly appropriate to do it. All right. A gentleman should always remove his hat when he enters a building. You should never, ever, under any circumstances whatsoever, except for specific religious purposes, cover your head while eating. That is an absolute no-no. All right? And it's very important. You want to be a gentleman, you must not only look like one, but act like one. So let's take a look at some more hats now. But before I forget, how do you wear a hat appropriately? This is the point, isn't it? How do you wear it appropriately? All right, you take the hat, you place it in your hand as such. All right, you need to be very careful. The crown of the hat, this is called the crown. The crown of the hat is very sturdy. All right, as you notice, I have turned the brim down. The brim, when you get the hat, is like this. This is the way I keep my hats. But before I wear them, I turn the brim down. Okay, then the hat needs to be placed in your hand and tilted just slightly. All right, so it should never be plopped on your head like that. Oh, you look like a cowboy or an insurance salesman. All right? In order to wear it appropriately, you wear it just slightly tilted on the side of your head. So we comb your hair as I do, parted on the side. An easy guide is actually the part itself for your hair. And just tuck it on your head, leaving it slightly tilted to one side. That's called the jaunty look, okay? Otherwise, you look like an insurance salesman. And I don't want to insult the insurance salesmen. They're all wonderful out there, but it's a very staid, straight look. And you want to give yourself just a little bit of elegance by tilting the hat just slightly. Now, this hat's worn this way. Not all of them are, okay? But this specific kind of hat, this style of hat, is worn this way. The next hat that we're going to look at is called a Homburg. Now, a Homburg is probably, is the most formal hat. The Homburg with the top hat is the most formal type of hat that you're going to come upon. And a Homburg looks like this, okay? As you can see, the brim is always turned up. Okay, it is different from the derby or the bowler by the fact that it's elongated. Okay, a derby or a bowler is a more informal hat and it's rounded. All right, this is a Homburg. And the Homburg you can wear just slightly turned. Okay, I'm looking for the back of it. There's a back and a front to hats. Okay, there's a little tiny tag, the size tag is in the back. Okay, and there's a tiny little ribbon that shows you the back and the front. And this hat is worn flatter on your head, not so far forward as the Homburg. Okay, but you can slightly tilt this hat. Okay, so this is a formal hat, and you would wear this hat when you would wear a formal overcoat, as you can see, when you wear an overcoat or any formal wear. Now this hat is curious, the one that I'm currently wearing, because this hat is actually gray. All right, this is actually a gray hat, and it's a very light gray that almost looks brown. Okay, and I have a very nice formal brown jacket that coat that I wear this with. Okay, I also have a black one and a gray one, but I thought I would wear this because I'm wearing something brown, and I thought it looked better with what I'm wearing. And so, but I would never wear this with this outfit. Okay, and so this is a hat that's worn on formal occasions. You would wear this with a suit, never with a sports jacket. Okay, and again, as I said, it's not worn tilted. It's tilted forward, and it's worn, can be slightly tilted, and it's worn, and it sits on the top of your head, very much like this. Okay, this hat does not favor me very much. This style of hat, I'm much more of a fedora wearer. Okay. Now, before we move on to summer hats, we're going to take a look at something called the cap. Okay, caps are actually lots of fun, and they're very versatile. You wear a cap differently than you wear a hat. Okay, I like to call them driving caps. Okay, you can see it's a cloth cap. All right, or flat cap, a driving cap. Okay, and this cap is worn slightly differently. You place it on your head, and you can tilt it just slightly, but it's pretty much a hat that you wear straight on your head. So you can tilt it just slightly. It's generally a cap that you wear on your head. You can wear this if you're wearing a sports jacket like this. You would never wear this with formal gear. You would never, ever, ever wear this with an overcoat. But with a sport jacket like this, okay, in this sort of an outfit, it's perfectly fine. They're great for spring and fall days. They're also great if you are riding a bicycle, okay, or you're on the back of a motorcycle, or if you're in an open automobile. And the reason they're great in an open automobile is your head can get covered, all right, but it won't blow off. This is very, very, very resistant to the wind. Okay, and these are great, and they're fun, and they come in all kinds of colors. And as you can see, this one's green, and it goes because it goes with what I'm wearing. You always want to match what you're wearing to your headgear. Okay, so now we're going to move on to summer hats. We're just going to take a look at two types of summer hats. Summer hats are very multiple, but we're going to use these two as examples. All right, the first hat that we're going to look at for the summertime is called a coconut telescope. Okay, those of you that remember the TV show Gilligan's Island, this is the hat that Thurston Howell III wore when he was there on the island. The coconut telescope. It's an informal, this is a sporty summer hat. It's an informal hat that can be worn really with just about anything. You can wear this with shorts and a polo shirt, or you could wear this with a light summer jacket. Okay, remember in the summertime things are much more informal. All right, and this again, this is worn tilted on your hat, just forward, just slightly forward over your eyes, and tilted on your hat. Okay, you can see this as a wide brim, right? This hat is very similar to a hat called a pork pie. Okay, and the pork pie hat has a very shorter brim. And of course, it depends upon your head as to what hat looks better or worse on you. And this, of course, serves to shade your eyes in the summertime. All right. So now we're going to look at the next very common summer hat. Okay, that's similar to many others. Just a moment. All right. So the next hat we're going to take a quick look at is called a Panama hat. Now, Panama hats come in many shapes, styles, flavors, and colors. This happens to be a Panama Fedora. All right, they're made in Panama, or they used to be made in Panama out of straw. All right, the coconut telescope we just saw is actually made out of coconut, and they're very fragile and they break all the time. So I have to buy a new one every 3 or 4 years. All right, but the Panama is generally very flexible. Okay, they're made of a very resilient material, and they're this color. They're creamy white when you get them. All right, a good Panama hat will cost you some money. It'll cost you almost the same amount of money as a regular fedora. Okay, we'll go over that in a moment when we're done. All right, so this is worn like a standard fedora. All right, and this you wouldn't wear if you were going, if you were wearing shorts and a polo shirt. This you would generally wear if you were wearing a suit or even an open collared dress shirt. You could wear this. Okay, but I generally wouldn't wear one with shorts and a polo shirt. That I would wear the coconut hat. Okay, the tail coconut. Okay, remember, ladies and gentlemen, the ladies love when men wear hats. Honest to God, they do. You get more compliments when you wear a hat if you don't wear a hat, especially if the hat goes with the outfit that you're wearing. Okay, so I just would like to remind you, remember, we wear the hats in their appropriate situations and their appropriate occasions. Right? A cap, the cap that I showed you would probably run you about $20. All right, the straw fedora will run you anywhere between $85 and $120. The coconut telescope probably about $75 to $85, and the Homburg is going to cost you probably in the range of $160 to $200, and that is depending upon the manufacturer. Okay, most of my hats are Stetsons. Okay, the great American hat manufacturing company, and they make all kinds of hats, just not cowboy hats. But if you get into a Borsellino, which is an Italian manufacturer, they can cost you between $200 and $300 because of the material they're made out of. Now, we did not discuss the top hat, the great extraordinary formal hat. We didn't talk about the top hat, and that is only because the top hat is almost never worn today. I still have one, and you can still wear them for weddings, specific weddings. When you are wearing formal wear, you can wear a top hat. You can wear a top hat with a morning coat, but most people would wear a Homburg with them today. You can wear a top hat with a black cutaway jacket. Or if you live in England, if you go to some of the horse events like Ascot, they still wear them. That is very uncommon. And a top hat is always black, unless you are involved in horse events where you can wear them of other colors, and you can wear a straw top hat, which are actually lovely for the summertime if you're involved in horse events, or if you're the Prince of Wales. He always wears a gray top hat, but he can do anything he wants because he's the Prince of Wales. Now, before I forget, this is called a baseball cap. This also has its uses. As you can see, I'm wearing an open shirt. This shirt very well may be too formal for this hat. A baseball cap has its purposes. It's to be worn when you're playing baseball or any other outdoor sports. It can be worn when you're playing golf, but you could also wear a coconut telescope when you're playing golf, or any other kind of flat cap while you're playing golf. This is to be worn while you're playing baseball. Okay? This is not to be worn any other time. This is not to be worn with a suit. This is not to be worn with an overcoat. This is not to be worn at any other time except while playing certain outdoor sports or watching them. It's the only moment in which it's appropriate. Every other time that one wears one, it is inappropriate, and it is totally ungentlemanly. And when you wear these at certain events, unless you are a baseball player and play the position of catcher, or you're an umpire, you never, ever, ever wear it backwards. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to get more of our excellent videos on the gentlemanly art of. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.